This is Derek Murphy of Creativity.com, helping you become creatively and financially independent. And today I'm going through a list of 100 commonly asked publishing questions that people email me about. I've written lots of replies, but I thought I would put together a little video series talking about some of these questions. So the next question is, do I need a literary agent or should I query publishers directly? There's another question in here somewhere about how should I query an agent or how should I make a query? But for this question, do you need a literary agent or should you publishers directly? It depends on the publisher. There are some publishers that allow you to contact them directly. And in that case, you may as well accept that if you get the publisher to show interest in your book, you'll probably get a better deal if you had an agent. So even if you get an offer from a publisher, I would probably take that offer and go to an agent and say, look, I got this offer. Do you want to help me with it? Because the agent's going to help you get the right details in the contract to make sure you're earning everything and keeping the rights that you want to keep. That said, most of the bigger publishers won't deal with authors directly. And the ones that will may not be the best option. There's a lot of things they call themselves publishers right now or small presses that are actually vanity presses. The difference is a publisher will give you an advance. They'll give you money up front based on future earnings, but they won't ask for money. They'll take the risk and design the book and publish the book by themselves. They take the risk. They give you some money. They hope to earn the money back by selling a lot of copies. That's a real publisher, a traditional publisher. Now there's a lot of small presses popping up that are really just author services where they say, for $5,000, we'll design and publish your book for you. And that may seem easier to work with that kind of company who takes care of everything. However, those companies are businesses. They're not in the business of selling your book. Your book being successful doesn't mean they're going to earn a lot of money. The way that they make money is you paying to publish your book. And so all that they really care about is helping you publish the book. They don't really care about future sales down the line. And because they're a business, what they're going to do is take your $5,000 and they'll outsource all the work for $2,000 so that they make a profit. So you're spending too much and you're probably getting lower quality work done than you would have if you went direct. And the most important piece of publishing doesn't really matter if you have an agent or a publisher. All that matters is how your book is designed. Does your book look professional? Is the interior formatted well? Is it an amazing design? Because for most consumers, they're going to see your book in the bookstore or on Amazon, and they don't see the publisher. They just see, does it look like a professional book that I want to read? If it does, you'll sell more books as long as you're doing some marketing. But publishers and agents aren't really in the marketing game anymore either. They're not going to do much to market your book, even if you get a publishing contract. Do you need a literary agent? It depends on your kind of book. If you're writing literary fiction, possibly smash runaway young adult paranormal romance, it might be a good idea. However, the other thing that's happening more and more right now is that agents and publishers, they don't really know what's going to be successful anyway. So they're looking at Amazon to see what kind of books are being bestsellers, and they contact authors directly. So instead of spending months or a year to try to find an agent and then more months or another year waiting for the agent to sell it to a publisher, I would say publish it on Amazon, publish it cheaply and quickly, put a nice cover on it, make it an ebook available only, try to do some marketing or outreach. If it's a good enough book and you connect with enough readers, it will take off. It'll stay at the top of the bestseller list. You'll make a lot of money, and agents and publishers will come to you begging for you to sign a contract with them. That's, for me, the fastest way to get a publisher right now is to be successful online, to publish books and be successful and prove to them that you have a market and you have a book that will sell. Then it won't take any time. They'll come to you with an offer. But in that case, their offer probably isn't going to be worth it because you've already done the work. You're already selling a lot of books. In my personal instance, if I'm writing some fiction books, I already have a large platform. I can sell them pretty well, but I would take a deal with a publisher anyway, just because they would help me put the book in bookstores and they would reach corners of the world that I couldn't reach by myself. So for me, even though it wouldn't be as profitable, I would take that deal because I want my author platform to be more widely recognized. But I would also keep some of my books on the side that are self-published to make sure I can earn money that way, because the books that you publish with a publisher may not be your best earning books. They're good for building your author platform, but not necessarily earning. But if you still want to go the traditional route, there's a lot of sites that list all the agents. There's agentquery.com, pw.org, literary agents, query tracker. There's a lot of places that will list all of the agents that you need to find, and they're not very hard to find, actually. And what was I going to say? They're not hard to find, and they want to hear from you. That's their business. They're not gatekeepers. They're not trying to push out authors or make it difficult to get in touch, because they make their living helping authors publish their books. That's their job. They really want to hear from you. They really want to help you with your book. If you have a great book that's going to be a bestseller, they're desperate for it. There's competition. It's not difficult to find a literary agent and submit a query, but most authors, they're impatient and they're lazy, so they don't follow the directions. Literary agents have very clear directions on their website about how to get in touch with them and submit a query. If you don't do basic research to find out what their directions are, and you don't do basic research to find out how to write a query, because there's tons of material online, if you just don't want to do it and you just want to write it your way and send it, you won't be successful. And that's fine, because even if you have a good book, it's not enough. You have to show that you can follow directions. You have to show that you're willing to do the work and to market yourself the right way, to talk about your book in the right way. If you're not willing to do that, then you can't publish traditionally. You have to self-publish, but you're also not going to be successful because you're not going to learn what it takes to do things the right way. There's a lot of people who want to publish a book and want to make a lot of money, but they want to cut corners, and they ask online, like, yes, but what if I don't want to write a good query? What if I don't want to send out emails? What if I don't want to do the work? What's the easy way? There isn't an easy way to be a best-selling author. It takes work, and you have to learn some skills, but it's not that difficult, and it doesn't take very much work. It could take a few days for you to figure out how to write a genius query that's going to get everybody to call you on the phone. Spend a couple days and learn how to do it right. Okay, that's all I have for this question. There's another one I wanted to talk about. Somebody asked me also, how do I find more literary agents? They said they only found 150 literary agents in their genre. Where do they find more? And I said, if you find 20 literary agents in your genre and you pitch them and they all reject you, there's a problem with your query or your book or your platform or something that you're doing wrong. Even if you pitch 10 and nobody gets back to you, that's an opportunity to improve your query, improve your pitch, because it means you're doing it wrong. So if you're getting a lot of rejection, either your book isn't strong enough or the way you're talking about your book isn't strong enough. Finding more literary agents isn't the problem. You need to fix your material so that you can convince people to take a look at your book and help you make it successful. Okay, thanks, bye-bye.